Hey guys, welcome to the first video of my web development for absolute beginners. This video is meant for anyone who wants to learn the basic of web design and web development. Don't worry if you have no knowledge about HTML before, this video is meant for beginners. So let's get started. What you need to get started is just for you to get a web browser and a text editor. So get in as much you can get any web browser like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, Microsoft Edge, and as well get a text editor. Either you get Bracket, Sublime Text, Notepad++, Visual Studio Code. Feel free to get any one of these. But in this video, I will be using Google Chrome as a web browser and Bracket as a text editor. So feel free to use any one of your choice to follow along with me. So let's look into HTML. Let's introduce ourselves to HTML. Actually, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. HTML describes the structure of a web page. HTML consists of a series of elements. And as well, HTML elements tell the browser how to display content to the users. So let's look at how to create HTML file. Creating an HTML file must end with .html extension to let the browser know that it's about to display an HTML file. HTML runs on a web browser like Google Chrome and Firefox. Any of the web browser you get, it's fine. HTML does not need a web browser to run. It can be run offline, in as much the file is on your computer. So index.html is the root/home page of a website. So it's good to name your file, your home page as index.html. So let's get started. I will create a new folder on my desktop. I will name it I'll create a new folder. I'm going to name it my website. Cancel my website. I'll open up my website. Okay, it's cool. Now I'm gonna open up my text editor, which is Bracket. Bracket is opening. Okay, it's still loading. Yeah, I'll create a new file. Yeah, I will save the new file. I'm going to save it as I'm going to save it inside the folder I just created on my desktop, which is my website. I will save it index.html. I'll click on save. Yeah, you should get to this point. So I'm going to do a quick check to connect my index.html to a web browser. So now I'm going to click on Google Chrome, to open up Google Chrome for me. Now Google Chrome is open. I'm going to create the Okay, let me open the file actually. Yeah, my website. So if you set up everything fine, the index is created. The index is just created, index.html. It will have a Google Chrome icon. Mine is having a Google Chrome icon because Google Chrome is my default web browser. If your default web browser is Firefox, Microsoft Edge, it will have the icon. So I'm gonna double click on it to open it with Google Chrome. Here it is. So I'll open up my text editor now. Yeah, let me just make a quick check. I'm gonna type welcome to make sure everything is connected up together. Ctrl S to save, and I will reload. Yeah, here it shows welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna start typing the page structure of the website by using doctype HTML with a closing bracket. I'll create HTML with a closing tag, with an opening tag, which is the start tag, and a closing tag. This means I'm starting HTML and closing HTML here. So I'll create another one, which is the head. In between the head, I will have the page title. I'm gonna name the page title my website. I'm gonna name it my website, and I'll create a body tag as well. Here it's showing index.html, but if I save this and reload it, it would show my website because that's the page title. Let me save it now. Ctrl S to save and reload. Here it is, my website. Okay, everything is working fine. So I'm gonna create my body tag. I'll create my body tag. Yeah. Okay. So I'm creating a website now that runs on that based on HTML, just HTML website, no added languages, no CSS, no style language, no scripting language, and no JavaScript, just HTML. In order to get started with HTML, to know how HTML works, I'm gonna create an H1 tag. I'll write my first website here. My first website. I will save it and reload my web browser. Here it is, my first website. Okay. So all the content I'm writing must be in the body tag. That's that's the way the content goes in the body tags. So the head tags have something like the title and some style language but the body tags that body tag is what contains the page content, while the HTML tag is the starting tag that tell the browser that I'm about to run some HTML file here. This doctype HTML is the standard version of HTML. That is, if any other version of HTML got released later on while I've written my code and launched to the server, so automatically it will be updated, because right now we're using HTML5. So if there is any other version like HTML6, it's going to be updated automatically without me having to upgrade my codes or having to update my codes. So now I'm gonna make this simple by just creating some page layout here. So first of all, I will have a list item here. I'll have a list item, and if I can start a list item, I will have to start with UL that is unordered list, because I'm having some unordered list here with a closing bracket. And in between my unordered list, I will have LI that stands for list items. So here I'm going to have home. I will have about, I have services, LI. I'm going to have contact us. So I will save this now and reload. So here it is, but now it's not clickable. So I'm going to show you how to add links to this to make it clickable. So you can add links by using the href in between the content you want to be clickable. Now I want my home, about, services, contact us to be clickable. So I'm going to add an href to it, an attribute called href with the small letter href. So if I want to link this, if I want anytime this home is clicked, if I have some pages that I want them to go to, I will put in the page here, the page name. For example, if I have it to be like home.html, if I have a page saved with home.html, if I click this home, it will redirect me to that page. But now I don't have any page saved with home.html, so I'm gonna delete it. So I'm gonna leave my href like this, and the closing tag of href must be at the end of the content you want to be clicked. So I have my closing tag here. I will save this now, reload, and check. Here it is. Now it's clickable. So now I'll do the same thing for about, service, and contact us. Let me just copy this and paste. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. So I will edit this and have my home, about, services, and contact us. Oops, I spelled my contact wrong. Contact us. Ctrl S to save. So here it is now. Now they are all clickable. I can click this, I can click this, I can click this. So I'm going to add an HR before my list to make an horizontal row. HR is short form of an horizontal row. It is self-closing bracket. It doesn't need a closing bracket. HR, it is self-closing bracket. I will save this now and see what the changes are. Now here it is. It's an horizontal row in HTML. HR. It is self-closing. It doesn't need a closing tag. So I will move on by adding some context here. So I will have an HR here again, an horizontal rule. Ctrl S to save. I will reload it here. Here it is. So I will have about. And an H2 tag. Let me do h3 tag. Okay, oh, h3 is too small. Let me make it h2. Okay, perfect. Now I'll have some text under my about. If you want them, if you want them to, if you want the, if you want to tell the users about your website, you can have some content under the paragraph tag. The paragraph tag. Like this is all about. This is all about my web site. But let me save and reload. But I think this text is too small for me. Let me just do a quick copy of text here. Okay. Can't you see? Instead of having my website here, let me just paste that text there to make it look nice. Yeah. Okay. Let me have it again to make it look good. Control V to paste, Control S. Okay, fine. So all these are in this bracket. This is a bracket tag. It starts with P for paragraph tag. It's a paragraph tag. It starts with P with a closing tag. So that's what makes this space on the line, because I'm starting a new paragraph here and closing it here. Starting it here, closing it here. I'm starting another one again, starting it and closing, starting it and closing in a new paragraph. P for paragraph tag. So I will have the same thing for services. So I'll just do a quick copy here. Control C to copy. Since I'm having the same text, if I'm having different text, I will write my services from the beginning, but I'm having the same text there. Just because edit my about to be services. Control S to save. Yeah, but these look a little bit together, so let me have an horizontal rule under my about and before my services. Control S to save. Okay, good. I think I should have a link here. Let me have a link under my about to say if I want my user to read more about the content I just wrote down there. If everything can't contain this page for some reasons, and I have an H to create a link. This is a link tag, href. I say read more. S. Okay, read more. If I want them to go to another page to read this, I'll put them I'll put an hashtag there, and I'll put the address, the URL of where I want them to go. So while they click this read more, it direct them straight up to the URL address. So I will have the same thing for my service. For my service, Ctrl V, Ctrl S. I check for my service. Okay, here it is. So you can add any of the URL address you want. By clicking there, it will definitely redirect you to the URL. Okay. So the next thing here is the contact. So for the contact, I'm going to create a form that will allow the user to put in some of their names, their username or name, and their email address, and they submit the form. So by doing this, we have a form. The starting and the closing tag. So in between the form, I will have input with the type of text. Input the type of text and name of full name. I'll name it full name. Full name. I'm going to create a paragraph surrounding it, a paragraph tag. I'm going to have enter your first name, enter first name, enter full name rather. Ctrl S to save, Ctrl R to reload. Okay, enter full name. Okay, let me just have a contact us right here. An H2 tag. And I'm going to have contact us. Let me save and reload. Okay, contact us. Okay. So I'm going to have an email address for them to put in their email. So I'll start with my paragraph tag. Close it. I will start with enter email address. With an input with a type of text and the name of email address with a closing parenthesis there. Yeah. So Ctrl S to save, and I'm going to reload it to my web browser. Yeah, enter email address, enter first full name, enter email address. Okay, and I'm going to have the part for message. They want to get back to us by sending us some messages. I have a paragraph here, a paragraph tag. Name it message. I'm going to name it message. With the text area, to allow the user to put in text and edit the box size, to make the box size editable. So text area with a closing, and I'm going to name it I'm going to give it a name of message. Ctrl S to save, Ctrl R to reload. This is it, message. So text area makes the box resizable. It makes it resizable to the size I want. So as I'm typing in message, so I can resize the box because it's resizable. Okay. The last thing I'm having here is the submit button. So while the users has entered the details they want to get back to us as a feedback, then they will need to click on the submit button. So I have an input with a type of submit, and value of submit. submit. Notice input is a self-closing tag. It has no closing tag. It has just the first tag. It is self-closing tag with no closing tag. Just it closes itself by itself, just like the HR tag, the horizontal row tag. Same thing applies to input. So we don't need to have something like slash input to close it. No, it is self-closing tag. Ctrl S to save. Ctrl R to reload. Okay, this is our submit. So I want this submit button to come down a little bit because I don't really like where it is right now. So to do that, I will have a line break, because if I put in some spaces here thinking it will drop down, it won't. I need to put in some line space there to make it come down, not by putting some empty space here. So to do that, I will have an element, a tag called BR, which is short form for line break. Ctrl S to save. So this, if I reload now, to bring my submit down below the text area. Okay, here it is. Okay. That's good. My first web page. Okay, everything is working fine. Can click on this. Can click on this. You can click to read more. If you have any other page connected to the URL address, the link here. Okay, everything is working fine. You can submit. Okay, let's move on. The next thing you have here is our categories. We might have some posts earlier on that we want our users to be able to access. We can do that by putting some links here called categories, because that's how some websites have their own as well. So outside the form, we have some URL. So let me leave some URL list now. Let me go to LR. It's ordered list. URL is on ordered list, which is bulletin. So let me have ordered list here. Ordered list OL, and I have my list item with an href. And I have category. I have category 1. Let me just copy this, since I'm having same thing there. Oh, sorry. Let me just make it 4. I'll just edit this category 1, category 2, category 3, category 4. Ctrl S to save, and I reload my web browser. Here it is. So OL is ordered list, which is from 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. It's an ordered list. Why UL is an unordered list, which is bulletin. Why LI is an ordered list, 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the bottom, which is the footer, I can have something like with a paragraph tag. Then I can have copyright to copyright. Oops, sorry. the paragraph tag. The paragraph, oh, sorry. Okay. So copyright, yes. Copyright at sorry, okay. At 2020 my website. Control S to save. Okay, copyright content to my website. Actually, this having this symbol in some cases is not really acceptable in HTML, because HTML have a code for symbols, which is hashtag which is and copy instead of at and copy. Then it gives me a copyright symbol here, which is C. Copyright symbol, which is C. So a quick review again. Doc type is the standard way of the standard structure of HTML tags, because if there's later an HTML version released later on, while we've set up our website already, by using doc type HTML, we automatically update our code to the latest version of HTML. HTML tags tells the browser that we're about to start some HTML script, HTML code, the HTML document, unlike CSS, which will start by adding some styles, like JavaScript, which will start by adding some scripts to it. But this is HTML. In later video, we'll be looking on CSS as well in order to style our website. But now we're focusing on HTML only, because without styles, our website won't look pretty good. It does look like those of 1990s website, but the current website now use styles to it. So now our head is the head of the website, like which we have our title on it, our title bar that display the title of our web page, which is my website. The body is where contain the entire content of the HTML document, the HTML file. Everything is contained in the body tag, which we have our H1 showing my first website. From H1 we have H1 to H6. H1 to H6, which the H1 is the largest font. Go gradually to H6. Here we have H2, which is a little bit lower than H1. So from H1 to H6, we have a paragraph tag that contains our text, and we have a horizontal rule here that makes a horizontal line to divide our HTML codes. And we have links here. We have links with the A attribute, href. Input, if we put in something here, it direct our users to where the URL address we want them to go by clicking the content surrounded with the A attribute, the href. So we have two types of list: the unordered list, which is the UL, and ordered list, which is the OL. The numbers and the UL are bulletin. And we have forms here. We have forms with the input of text. We have input of text. You can input of numbers and all that. But let me do a quick something here again. After our message, our text area. Okay, let me have an input here again. Let me quickly show you this. Input with a type of, we have so many types. You can have type of date, type of button, radio, password, any type. But now let me quickly show you checkbox. checkbox. Let me start with a paragraph. Let me have some content there, like click to get updated. Updated. Let me surround the paragraph tag with the input. Let me speed this out a little bit. Okay, let me check now. Control S to save and reload my web browser. Okay. So now here it is, the checkbox. It's a checkbox. So now after the user puts in their name, their email address, the message they have for us, they can decide to click if they want to be getting updates from your site, and they submit. So this is a website based with HTML only, with no added features like CSS in order to style the website, or JavaScript to make the page look more interactive. But later on in the video, in this course, we'll be looking at CSS, we'll be moving on to CSS and possibly some JavaScript as well. But right now, we're just focusing on HTML. I think this is the end of the video. This is where we'll be stopping for now. But later on, we'll move on to CSS. So if you have any question, feel free to drop it in the comment section. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate your time. And if you have any question as well, as I said, drop it in the comment section.